Good morning, English 1101 students. Welcome to what is technically, I guess, week 2 of the semester, even though it's the first full week. Uh, so the purpose of this video is I'm going to explain to you what you're going to be doing for the next 2 weeks. And we are going to really hit the grammar hard for the next 2 weeks. And I think it's very important that we hit the grammar hard because if you turn in a paper that's really full of grammatical errors, there's a really good chance you're going to make a bad impression on a teacher, or if you send out a cover letter to a potential employer or an email to a client if you're a business owner or whatever, and it's full of grammatical errors, it really makes you look bad. In fact, it makes you look really bad. In fact, it actually, people think, oh, this person must not be too smart, or this person must not care about taking the time to make sure that this letter or this email or this whatever it is grammatically correct. So for the next 2 weeks, that's this week and next week, we're going to really hit that grammar hard. And it's going to require some time. It's not going to be something you can do in one sitting. My recommendation, there are 7 exercises to do this week. My recommendation is that you take say like one per day or 2 per day at the most, and go through it throughout the course of the week, rather than trying to do all 7 of them in one sitting, because you won't be able to get them all done in one sitting. You just simply won't. So here's how this next 2 weeks works. I have put weeks 2 and 3 module in D2L. I have not set up the week 3 module yet. I probably won't do that till next weekend. But I've already got the week 2 module pretty much set up. There are two PowerPoint slides per concept. So one of them is going to be punctuation and comma usage, and the other one is going to be run-on sentences and fragments and comma splices. So take the time to go through those slideshows and learn what some of these rules are. One of the slideshows actually has sample problems at the end, which you can go through. You don't necessarily need to do those because you've got more that you're going to actually do and turn in for a grade, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to go through them. I mean, if you're struggling with comma usage, a lot of practice can be a good thing. So these PowerPoint slideshows really explain the rules very well. And I put 2 of them up there from 2 different sources because I think that the 2 together combine to cover everything you need to know. Then there is a kind of a combination. There's an interactive website, which is through Grammar Bytes, chompchomp.com, if any of you are familiar with it, and then a handout that goes with each interactive exercise. Now, you don't necessarily have to print these up if you don't want to, because I know some of you may not have printers, or some of you may be low on ink and you may not want to do it, because each of these handouts per exercise is about 3 pages each, so we're talking about 21 printed pages. So what you'll want to do, though, at least is pull out a piece of notebook paper or something and keep track of your answers. Now, the nice thing about the chompchomp.com is you can actually do the exercise on the website first, and it'll be the exact same thing that's on the handout. And then you can get your answer right away. It'll tell you right away whether you were correct or whether you were incorrect. And then at the very top there, on the comma usage ones, there's an explanation for why your answer was correct, or if you got it incorrect, why your answer was incorrect. So the website will explain to you what comma rule it was that you either got right or that you missed on, should you not get the question right. Now, the sentences one is a little bit different. The sentences one is a little game, and if you get it right, you get this like cyber money or a cyber vacation or a cyber car. Whereas if you get it wrong, you'll get like a cyber donkey or a cyber, I don't know, something that's not as much fun as cars and money. And again, it's only a game. And then it'll have a link that says get an explanation. So it won't have it on the same page, but you can click that get an explanation link, and it will tell you why your answer was right or wrong. So these, again, these are going to be time consuming, but it's very important you learn these grammar rules. So that's why we're doing it over a 2-week period, and why I'm only doing the punctuation and the sentences this week. The next week we'll have to do with the verb problems and pronoun problems. Now, here's where you get the grade. After you have written down all your answers and you've gotten all your explanations, you should, in theory, get a perfect score on this week's and next week's exercises. Because after you've written down all the right answers, you then will see a link that says answer sheet. That's how I'm going to grade you. And all these questions in the answer sheet are for this exercise, question number 1, did you say A, B, or C? You'll look at your little sheet, you've got the right answer in front of you because you've already done it online and you've already gotten your explanations. So let's say for number 1, for whatever particular exercise, the answer might be B. So you'll put the B in there and then you'll move on to the next one. And of course, D2L will grade these. So essentially what you're doing is you're taking what you've written down, either on the printed up sheets, or if you didn't print them up, if you just did it on like a notebook paper or something. You're taking those answers and you're transferring them onto these answer sheets in the D2L so that I can grade them and make sure that you got these right. Now the due date for this week is the end of the week, which is Sunday. You do have a little bit of a grace period, but we really need to hit this grammar now, because you're then going to take what you learn over these 2 weeks and apply them to your first assignment, which will be during week 4, which is the narrative essay. So that's how it works. Go through the slideshows, learn the rules, go into the interactive, do the exercises there. If you get the answers right, sit there and applaud yourself. And if you get them wrong, read the explanations telling you why you got them wrong. And even if you got them right, it might not be a bad idea to see explanations, because sometimes you might have guessed. So get the explanations whether you get them right or wrong. Write those answers down either on the printed up exercise or on a piece of notebook paper. Then go into the one that says the answer sheet, which is essentially a D2L quiz. Put those answers in there, hit the submit button, and you should do well. So that's this week's assignment. Again, I can't stress enough how important grammar is. I really can't. There's no way to understate how important it is that you use commas correctly and that you have complete sentences that are not run-ons and comma splices. And then next week when we get to the verbs, how important it is that your subjects and verbs agree and how you keep the same tense throughout the document. And next week, of course, also we'll cover the pronouns. So we'll look at all of that next week. So that's this week's assignment. Again, don't try to do them all in one sitting. It's going to be impossible. Do take the time to go through these exercises and learn the rules so that when you write, you may not get the rules right on the first draft, but as you go back through your draft and you make corrections, you can apply these rules and say, oh yeah, I need to put a comma there that I forgot. There you go. The comma's in there. Now it's correct. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or call my office phone during my office hours. Or if you're on campus, I'd love to see you. Just come on by and pay a visit. Say, hi, I am so-and-so. I am Shane Smith. I am in your English 11-1 online class. And we'll shake hands and I'll say, nice to meet you. And then at least I'll be able to put a face to the name whenever I read the emails or whenever I do the assignments. So, again, keep in touch if you need to. You also, if you're on campus, have the Writing Center as a resource as well. And until next week, let's learn some grammar.